Hello people from the station, John here. While predicting the lineup, what I would use as my lineup and what I think Mikel Arteta is gonna use as a lineup. Of course, we play against Man City later and within 2 hours, and I'm really nervous for the game. I'm gonna predict what I think Mikel Arteta is gonna use, and then I'm gonna be my lineup as I said before. So what I think Mikel Arteta is gonna use. The traditional 4-2-3-1 that we use in our games since this came here. Leno and goal. Right back I think is gonna be Hector Bellerin. The pairing center back is gonna be Mustafi and David Luiz. Left back is gonna be Kieran Tierney. Might be Saka, but I think Tierney is gonna play. Midfield I go with Xhaka and Ceballos. Well, I think we're playing as a 10. I will not play with a 10, but I think Mikel Arteta is going to do that. I think he's going to play with Ozil, and then right wing is going to be Pepe. It might be Nelson, but I think Pepe is going to play. Middle Lacazette, and then left wing Aubameyang. That's what I think Mikel Arteta is going to use. Maybe because Mikel Arteta knows City, and of course, he saw the players training throughout the last month, so he might do some changes. I believe he could do it. Because of course he knows City. He knows City way more than all of us. I'm gonna give my lineup and I'm gonna explain why I think. Okay, so it's not about technique. I don't think this game is gonna be about technique. The teams that usually beat Man City, they don't use technique as their main weapon to beat Man City. For example, Man United, when they beat Man City, they beat Man City twice this season. They beat Man City in the Premier League 2-0, and the FA Cup it was 2-1 if I'm not wrong. And yes, people, yes, so they used the 7 defensive-minded players plus the goalkeeper, and then 3 players up top. It was De Gea in goal, Maguire, Luke Shaw, and who was the other center back? Lindelof as the center backs. So they play with a 3-4-1-2. On the midfield, you have Brendan Williams, a defensive fullback on the left. On the middle, you have Fred and Matic, defensive players as well. And on the right, you have Aaron Wan-Bissaka. You had Bruno Fernandes as their center attacking mid. And that's a guy who drops back a lot. He tracks back runners. He always comes back to help the team, makes tackles. So that's already, you could include 8 defensive. Of course, Bruno Fernandes is not only defensive minded. I think he's like offensive and offensive, but he helps defensively as well. Up top, you have Daniel James and Martial. The first game in the FA Cup, they had Mason Greenwood and Martial, and then the game against Premier League, the last game, they had Martial and Daniel James. Yes, so people, you see on this team, first of all, you have a lot of pace on the wings, you have a lot of pace on the flanks. Of course, you can get them on the counter-attack, and it's going to be really hard for them to penetrate your team, because City cannot score 1 goal against Man United in the Premier League. I think it was 2-0 if I'm not wrong. Sorry, people. I would use a 3-1-4-2. That's what I would use in my lineup. Yeah, I would use Leno as my goalkeeper. Tierney, left center back. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys may say, but Tierney is a left back. Tierney has played center back for Scotland since they have, of course, Robertson. Tierney is not going to start over Robertson. I think Tierney is actually, if he doesn't get any injuries in the future, I think he can become better than Robertson. But for now, he plays as a left center back as well for Scotland. He's very strong. He's very fast, of course, and his jumping is actually pretty good. So yes, people, Tierney as my left center back. Middle, I put David Luiz. I think his leadership is going to help us. Mustafi on the right. I think a lot of people say Mari. I could consider Mari. I think he's too slow to play against a team like City. I think we should play Mari on his first game. Of course, he played against West Ham already, and he played against Portsmouth. But I'm saying another game in the Premier League since we are back. I would not put Mari on this game. I would put David Luiz and Mustafi. Tierney, I think David Luiz with Mustafi work very well. Let's go for the midfield. As my DM, I would put Granit Xhaka. On the left side, I'm going to put Bukayo Saka. He's going to cover Tierney, and Tierney is also going to give him freedom to go forward if we get them on the counter-attack. Of course, they're going to dominate the game pretty much, so we have to be looking at that. I think we have little chances, but if we play like that, I think we might win it, in my opinion. On the middle, I put Denis Ceballos. I don't consider Torreira. I don't consider Cedric playing. If Cedric was playing, I could have changed my lineup. Ceballos on the mid together with Joe Willock. And on the right, I would put Ainsley Maitland-Niles. So if Cedric was here, I would put Cedric on the right. I would not put Hector Bellerin here. I would put Cedric on the right, and then I'll put Maitland-Niles on the mid, maybe together with Ceballos. But the reason why I would put Willock, I know Willock is not the best player, the most technical player we have. But if we go in terms of technique, then we gotta pick players like Mesut Ozil, Guendouzi, and tactically, technically they might be good, but when it comes to tactically, Guendouzi is absolutely terrible. That's why he's known as headless chicken by many people. So on this game we have to be very careful. You guys remember the first game, what happened to Guendouzi over there? De Bruyne actually made him look like a League 2 player. So that's levels over there. That's levels. Guendouzi is gonna get lost on this game, just like Mesut Ozil. So that's why I will not put any of them. I will not put any center attacking me. I will not play as with number 10. I would just keep that team. I would put Ceballos because he might be the most technical guy as well on this midfield. But defensively, I actually think he's good as well. I think on the last game when he was playing against West Ham, I think he was doing decent defensively. I think he was doing good. I'll keep Granit Xhaka on the back just to give him the leadership. Granit Xhaka, of course, is going to be the most experienced player on that midfield. Of course, you have a lot of young guys. Ceballos is 23, Willock is 20, Bukayo Saka is 18, and on the other side, Maitland-Niles is 22. So you need a guy to guide those players behind them. Of course, Willock is not that great with the ball. He's a good ball carrier. That's why I would put them. I think on the counter attacks he could be decent. He shows high intensity as well, something Xhaka does not show. And defensively he can help Xhaka. It's him and Ceballos. I think they can help Xhaka a lot. If Xhaka plays by himself or if he plays only with Ceballos, I think he's gonna have a lot of trouble. That's why I put two players in front of him to help him, and he can help him as well. And Saka with the ball, his ball distribution can be something very important for us. So that's why I think that. And honestly, up top, I put Aubameyang and Pepe. I think Granit Xhaka, with his long passes, he can hit Aubameyang and Pepe very easily. If we get them on a counter-attack, Xhaka can have that long pass to Aubameyang or Pepe. They can run behind the defenders, and maybe something can happen there. Or David Luiz may come as a libero, come up a little bit, and Xhaka drops down. And Xhaka goes on the middle, Tierney stays left, and Mustafi stays on the right. Well, and as I said, on the right side, I think Maitland-Niles is going to cover Mustafi, and I think that Mustafi might give Maitland-Niles the freedom to go forward. Of course, Mustafi is not the player to trust, but Maitland-Niles is a guy who does not go forward a lot, not as much as Saka, for example. So I think that Maitland-Niles is going to stay a little bit more. Pepe and Aubameyang up top. I'm not going to play Lacazette. Pepe can make those runs behind the defenders. Aubameyang can do that as well. His positioning, you guys know, it's great. So yes, people, that would be my lineup. In my opinion, I think we could have a chance to beat Man City. Of course, it's not the most technical lineup, I agree. But I think that in different games, we have to put... in games, for example, against City, these teams, we have to go with this lineup. Granit Xhaka, I think personally, I think he's our best midfielder. But I was considering of not even putting Granit Xhaka because when we play like that, I would play Xhaka against any team in the Premier League because I think, honestly, he's our best midfielder. But when it comes to City, City is going to be that team that is going to dominate you. And Xhaka defensively is not that great, which is why I will not put him. I will put Granit Xhaka against Liverpool. Of course, they're going to press a lot, but they're not going to dominate as much as City. City's midfield, pass the ball, tiki-taka, just like Guardiola does every time. And Xhaka's not going to be the best player to press and to get the ball from them, which is why I'll put Joe Willock. If Maitland-Niles was here, I will put Maitland-Niles on the midfield, Cedric on the right, and yeah, I will not put Hector Bellerin. But people, I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. I don't know when this video is gonna be ready, but I hope I can upload it soon. Thank you so much, people. Thank you for watching. John here.